Before the fame, before the charts, before the iconic beats that defined the post-West Coast, there was a teenager in Compton with a dream, a turntable, and a gift that couldn't be taught. This is the story of DJ Quik, producer, rapper, engineer, and one of the most influential yet underrated architects of hip-hop culture.
Yeah, make video, you know, this is for sure, for sure.
Yeah, make video.
Open your soul, represent your ghetto, baby.
Yeah, make video.
You know, this is for sure, for sure. Yeah, make video. Open your soul, represent your ghetto. Hold up, for the dime moves and the lokes, for the 6-4s on spokes, for the OGs that did a dime, came back around on parole.
Born David Marvin Blake in Compton, California, on January 18, 1970, Quik was a musical prodigy. By the time most kids were learning to ride bikes, Quik was immersed in funk records. George Clinton, Roger Troutman, and Prince were not just artists to him, they were blueprints. He started DJing at age 12, and during the late 1980s, he had an underground mixtape that was so hard, even Crips listened to it in our cars. By 21, he had a sound all of his own. But life wasn't always so smooth. His family struggled financially. Yet, in the middle of all that chaos, music was Quik's salvation. He sold homemade mixtapes out of his trunk, hustling in a pre-internet world where talent had to prove itself on the streets before it ever saw a studio.
I do as I please, you see, a younger brother that's up for reality, cause everybody knows you have to be stomping if you're born and raised in Compton.
During an era where NWA dominated Compton, DJ Quik dropped his debut album in 1991, Quik is the Name. He wasn't just rapping, he was producing and engineering his own records, something rare back then, and still impressive now. The album went platinum, led by hits like Tonight and Born and Raised in Compton. But more than sales, it was the sound. Sun-drenched funk laid over hard drums, a feel-good rhythm with street grit, that's what set him apart. It was no secret that DJ Quik was associated with the Treetop Pyrus of Compton. Before then, the only confirmed or major blood-affiliated rappers who hit the mainstream was the Booyah Tribe, a Samoan group from Carson who dropped New Funky Nation in 1990.
When we were throwing the W when we first came out, we wasn't throwing the W for the West Coast. We were throwing the W for West Side Pyru. We were making sure that, if you was said when you was rapping when you was putting on wax. Okay, you already know. Okay, I'm gonna check you. I'm gonna test you. Mm-hmm. Where you from, homie? That's the first thing you do. And a lot of these rappers, man, straight out. I remember back in the Jack the Rabbit days, the conventions back in when we first came out. We wasn't just like, okay, where y'all from? Oh man, we're just doing the music. Oh, okay. I thought y'all was, blood or Crip.
Quik's debut album dropped in 1991. Quik is the Name. Quik wasn't trying to copy off Dr. Dre, even though comparisons were inevitable. Where Dre's G-Funk was cinematic, Quik's was musical, built on live instruments, not just samples. He was a beat technician with an ear sharper than most engineers.
The pressure is tremendous. You either fight every day to stay out, or you join and fight others.
In Compton during the early 1990s, Pyru and Crip tensions were very real.
His brother Bunk, he was the one that was shot the same night that Lunatic went over by Campanella Park and shot Johnny Guess in the chest.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's what started this whole thing. Was his old
front hood?
Bunk. Yeah.
Front hood Crip. Oh, yeah.
And the rivalry naturally spilled over into music, especially since both artists represented their neighborhoods proudly. The beef between two well-known Compton rappers, DJ Quik and MC8, is one of the most iconic rivalries in West Coast hip-hop, rooted in gang affiliations, regional tension, and subtle lyrical disses. It started in the early 1990s through subtle shots and street talk. Many believe it escalated after Quik dropped Way Too Funky in 1992, which was widely interpreted as a diss toward MC8, even if not named explicitly.
But to you suckers in my city claiming I got a death wish, you should try again, fool, you ain't hitting near this. Them whack-ass tracks make you sound like a monkey, just a shot in the dark from a punk-ass Mark who ain't funk.
MC8 responded with Death Wish 2 in 1993, a much more direct track aimed at DJ Quik. It even featured a skit in the music video where someone resembling Quik gets smoked. Both continued to trade subliminal and direct shots. Quik dropped Dollars and Cents in 1995 on the Murder Was a Case soundtrack. This was the most direct diss of the beef, where he names MC8 and mocks his G-image. 8 replied again on various mixtape tracks, and the tension was real, especially in the streets of Compton. The beef will be resolved over a decade later. What many don't know is just how much DJ Quik contributed behind the scenes. He worked with legends such as Tupac, Snoop Dogg, Jay-Z, Nate Dogg, and Truth Hurts, just to name a few. His work on Tupac's All Eyes on Me added Sonic Death to one of the greatest rap albums of all time. And his engineering was next level. Quik could sit in the studio for hours, perfecting mixes by car. He once said, "I could hear a bad EQ before I could see it." That's how dialed in he was. He even helped mentor others, passing on knowledge about the technical side of music long before that became a trend. He never chased trends, he set them. But Quik's path wasn't without struggles. The fame, the business, and personal tragedies tested him. He lost his mother early in his career, a loss that hit him harder than any critic ever could. Still, he kept pushing, dropping solid albums like Rhythmalism, Balancing Options, and later, The Book of David. His sound matured, but the funk never left. He fused jazz, R&B, and rap in the musical identity uniquely his own. Even as the industry shifted toward digital shortcuts and disposable beats, DJ Quik stayed analog, loyal to tape machines, compressors, and that soulful, warm sound that never aged. Today, Quik isn't always mentioned in the same breath as Dr. Dre or Ice Cube, but he should be. I remember back in the days, it was him and Dub C that was rocking LA's underground. His influence runs deep, especially among producers who study his chord progressions, transitions, and mixing finesse. Kendrick Lamar, Terrence Martin, and countless others owe a creative debt to the path Quik paved. He's a legend, not because he chased the spotlight, because he never needed it to be great. I just felt like giving Quik his props. So next time you hear a smooth synth line over a booming West Coast beat, remember the man who made it possible, not just by making hits, but by reshaping what hip-hop sound like. DJ Quik, born and raised in Compton, engineered in the heart of funk, and forever a part of hip-hop soul. DJ Quik, born and raised in Compton.
Yeah, that's the name of my hometown. I'm going down in the town where my name is all around.
Engineered in the heart of funk, and forever a part of hip-hop soul. Be sure to click the like button and click the bell so you get all your notifications. And leave a comment if there's someone in the county of Los Angeles you would like to see me give their flowers to next. I'm out, y'all. Peace.
This is Los Angeles.